Hello, welcome to the big story, and I'm Sandeep. The Congress government in Telangana is set to act on the Justice P.C. Ghosh Commission findings on Kaleshwaram project, which exposed large scale of irregularities and held former CM KCR accountable. Initially, a Congress initiative, the project was redesigned by BRS. During the Congress time, it was called as Pranahita Chevella, but the name was changed, the design was changed, and it is finally named as the KCR Lift Irrigation Project. And this resulted in cost escalation, structural failures, and alleged corruption. The cabinet reviewed the report, discussed its legal ramifications, and formed a study committee. Legal and administrative action is expected very much soon. With mounting evidence and public scrutiny, KCR's political standing is under severe threat, fueling a major political storm and reshaping Telangana's governance and electoral landscape. What were the conclusions of the committee appointed by the Congress government? What was discovered in the committee meeting? And further, what was discovered in the cabinet meeting? What are the government's next steps? And is KCR's political reputation about to come crashing down? These questions are currently heating up the political atmosphere in Telangana, and this is the big story of the day. Towards the end of the 2023, structural issues surfaced in the Medigadda barrage, which is a part of Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project. The barrage experienced its subsidence, with its piers suffering damage. Additionally, seepage problems emerged in the Annaram and Sundilla barrages. Following these developments, the Congress government, which came to power in December 2023, initiated a vigilance inquiry and commissioned by technical study by the National Dam Safety Authority (NDSA). The preliminary report submitted by the Vigilance Department highlighted the serious structural flaws in the barrages. In response to these findings, Chief Minister Revanth Reddy announced during an assembly session that a judicial inquiry would be conducted. The government promptly decided to establish a commission for this purpose. In March 2024, the Commission was formally constituted under the leadership of Justice P.C. Ghosh, a former Chief Justice of the United Andhra Pradesh High Court, retired Supreme Court judge, and India's first Lokpal, who served from 2019 to 2022. Although the Commission was initially expected to submit its report by the end of July, Justice Ghosh received the official appointment in April and began the operations in May. The Commission's work involved inspecting the Medigadda, Annaram, and Sundila barrages, examining a large number of witnesses, conducting cross-examinations, and reviving reports from both Vigilance Department and the NDSA. Due to the complexity and the scope of investigation, the government extended the Commission's deadline multiple times. Ultimately, Justice P.C. Ghosh submitted his final report to Telangana government, concluding a comprehensive inquiry into the structural failures of Kaleshwaram barrages. Flaws in the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project. The report was handed over to Irrigation Secretary Rahul Bajaj at the BRK Bhavan following a 15-month investigation into the Medigadda, Annaram, and Sundila barrages. The Commission, formed on March 14, 2024, examined 115 witnesses and reviewed technical reports and administrative decisions. The findings revealed that the decision to construct the barrages was made solely by the then Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, bypassing the expert recommendations and the cabinet approval. The justification for the shifting of the project from Tumbidihatti due to water scarcity was deemed baseless. The Commission found that the tenders were issued and construction began even before the detailed project report and feasibility studies were finalized. Significant flaws were identified in design, execution, and quality control. The report held KCR responsible for all aspects of planning, construction, and financial decisions. It is also noted that the Irrigation Minister of the then government, Harish Rao, issued orders without following administrative protocols, and then Finance Minister Etal Rajender failed to ensure financial accountability. The Commission concluded that governance norms were violated and full responsibility lay with the then Chief Minister KCR.
వాళ్ళు అదే విధంగా మాట్లాడతారు కదా, వేరే రకంగా ఎందుకు మాట్లాడతారు? ఒకవేళ అదే అయితే ఆ కమిషన్ ముందుకెళ్ళి వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు సమాచారం ఇచ్చిండ్రు, వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు వాదనలు వినిపించిండ్రు? తమకు అనుకూలంగా ఉంటే ఒక రకంగా, తమ తప్పులను ప్రశ్నిస్తే ఇంకొక రకంగా మాట్లాడడం అనేది మొదటి నుంచి వాళ్ళకున్న అలవాటు. ఈరోజు మేము కమిషన్ని వాళ్ళు తప్పుపడుతుండ్రు, ఇంతకుముందు బట్టి విక్రమార్క గారు స్పష్టంగా చెప్పింది, ఇది ఒక రాజకీయ పార్టీ నివేదికను, రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వ నివేదిక కాదు, ఇండిపెండెంట్ జ్యుడిషియల్ ఎంక్వైరీ రిపోర్ట్ headed by Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, eminent personality. He headed as a Supreme Court judge, Lokpal chairperson. ఇలాంటి ప్రధానమైన బాధ్యతలు నిర్వహించిన వ్యక్తి 16 నెలలు అందరికి అవకాశం ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళు చెప్పుకోవడానికి అందరికీ సమానమైన అవకాశాలు కల్పించి రోజు నివేదిక ఇచ్చిండు. కాబట్టి ఆ నివేదిక మీద ఇంకా ఎవరు ఏ రకంగా మాట్లాడతారు, ఏ రకంగా విశ్లేషణ ఇస్తారు అనేది వాళ్ళ విజ్ఞతకే నేను వదిలేస్తున్నా. వాళ్ళు అదే విధంగా మాట్లాడతారు కదా, వేరే రకంగా ఎందుకు మాట్లాడతారు? ఒకవేళ అదే అయితే ఆ కమిషన్ ముందుకెళ్ళి వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు సమాచారం ఇచ్చిండ్రు, వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు వాదనలు వినిపించిండ్రు, తమకు అనుకూలంగా ఉంటే ఒక రకంగా, తమ తప్పులను ప్రశ్నిస్తే ఇంకొక రకంగా.
The PC Ghosh Commission formed by the Telangana government submitted its final report on corruption and irregularities in Kaleshwaram Rift Irrigation Project. The report, handed over to the Secretary and then to the Chief Minister, revealed serious financial misconduct and violation of norms. It is found that project officials concluded with construction companies, leading to misuse of the public funds, especially in the Medigadda barrage. The Commission held former Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao responsible for the decisions that caused structural failures, including site changes and flawed estimate. Design flaws and lack of quality checks resulted in damage to Medigadda, Annaram and Sundilla barrages. The Commission recommended criminal action under the breach of trust against the board members and advised that L&T should not be issued any further certifications for the Medigadda. It also directed L&T to restore the 7th block and rectify defects in other barrages at its own expense. The report emphasized that the project, once hailed as a boon for Telangana, turned into a wasteful expenditure due to the governance failures. It conducted that the decisions were made based on the individual preferences, especially by the CM KCR, rather than institutional processes, with undue pressure influencing financial and technical choices. Detailed accountability was established from the DPR stage to the structural collapse, naming responsible individuals across all levels. The PC Ghosh Commission formed by the Telangana government submitted its final report on corruption and irregularities in the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project. The report, handed over to Irrigation Secretary, revealed serious financial misconduct and leading to the public wastage. The decisions are very much flawed, the designs are very much flawed, and it led to the damage. Telangana is the state which is having the largest concrete dam of Nagarjuna Sagar and the biggest hydro power plant of Srisalem, built long ago, but still very intact. Telangana state is having a reputation of a very strong structures, but this particular barrage of the Medigadda under the Kaleshwaram project, which is not completed even 4 to 5 years, started cracking. This particular Kaleshwaram project once caught the eye of the nation, not only the nation but even the world. This is the biggest lift irrigation project ever known, and even the international channels also telecasted special reports when it was inaugurated. This was asked repeatedly to be the national project, but the center has not responded properly, and KCR went on constructing this particular project. Initially, this particular project was called Pranahita Chevella, and it was a part of discussion during the state bifurcation. But later on, this particular name is changed, the location is changed, the design is changed, which is led to Kaleshwaram. Because if the name would be Pranahita Chevella, probably KCR might have thought that the credit would be going to some or the other, to the Congress government or to any other government, because this was widely discussed during the state bifurcation, and Telangana to be having Pranahita Chevella on par with the Andhra Polavaram project. Polavaram project was given the national status. The work was started by the central government. The funds was released by the central government, but because of the political differences and so many other things, it is not yet opened. But the work went on from the past decade. But on the other hand, the Telangana request was not properly received by the central government, and they did not consider this as a national project, and KCR, as a mark of prestige, he went on. He even did not invited the Prime Minister or any other central minister. He just invited by the then Chief Ministers of Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, who are the states of Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh would be directly affected because of this particular Kaleshwaram project, and they were called as the guests of honor. The DPR also set to structural collapse, and frankly speaking, this particular barrage or the Kaleshwaram project now, which has caught the national and international eye, now has become a flagship to the KCR government.
Mari alleged non-availability of water at Tummadiyatti is not the correct and genuine reason. These are words from Justice Ghosh Commission report. అంటే తుమ్మడి దగ్గర నీళ్ళు లేవు అని మేము మేడిగడ్డ దగ్గర షిఫ్ట్ చేసినాం అనే కారణం ఇది అబద్ధము అని జస్టిస్ ఘోష్ కమిషన్ స్పష్టంగా తెలియజేస్తుంది. The decision of construction of barrage at Medigadda and also at Annaram and Sundilla is solely of the then Chief Minister. దయచేసి మీరు గమనించాలి, చాలా స్పష్టంగా ఘోష్ కమిషన్ రిపోర్ట్లో తుమ్మడి అట్టి దగ్గర నీటి లభ్యత లేదు కాబట్టే మేము మేడిగడ్డకి షిఫ్ట్ చేస్తూ అనే సాకు ఇది ఒక కారణం ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ చూపెట్టారో ఇది సరి అయింది కాదు, ఇది అబద్ధం అని చెప్పి ఘోష్ కమిషన్ రిపోర్టు ఆధారాలతో ఆ రిపోర్ట్లో ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఈ విషయం అందరూ గమనించాలి. అదేవిధంగా మేడిగడ్డలో కానీ అన్నారం సుందిలలో బ్యారేజీల నిర్మాణం యొక్క నిర్ణయం మరి ఆనాటి ముఖ్యమంత్రి అని చెప్పి కూడా స్పష్టంగా జస్టిస్ ఘోష్ కమిషన్ పేర్కొనడం జరిగింది. అదేవిధంగా ఆ ప్రభుత్వమే ఒక రిటైర్డ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ కమిటీ వేసింది. అంటే మరి అప్పుడు తుమ్మడి దగ్గర ఆల్రెడీ నిర్మాణం ప్రాజెక్ట్ నడుస్తుంది, మరి మేడి దగ్గర కట్టాలా వద్దా అనే విధంగా 5 రిటైర్డ్ ఇంజనీర్స్, చీఫ్ ఇంజనీర్స్, ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ ఇన్ ఇరిగేషన్ వాళ్ళ గురించి కూడా స్వయాన ఆనాటి ముఖ్యమంత్రి కేసీఆర్ గారు శాసనసభలో అన్నాడు. ఆయన నేను 5 ఇరిగేషన్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ రిటైర్డ్ చీఫ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ వేసిన మరి ఈ మేడిగడ్డ దగ్గర ప్రాజెక్ట్ కట్టాలన్నా వద్దా అని వారేసిన కమిటీయే మరి మళ్ళీ ఇది ఘోష్ కమిషన్ రిపోర్ట్. Expert committee had extensively studied the merits and demerits of the barrage being constructed at Tummadiyatti and at Medigadda and concluded that the construction of barrage at Medigadda is not advisable. Mari alleged non-availability of water at Tummadiyatti is not the correct and genuine reason. These are words from Justice Ghosh Commission report. అంటే తుమ్మడి దగ్గర నీళ్ళు లేవు అని మేము మేడిగడ్డ దగ్గర షిఫ్ట్ చేసినాం అనే కారణం ఇది అబద్ధము అని జస్టిస్ ఘోష్ కమిషన్ స్పష్టంగా తెలియజేస్తుంది. The decision of construction of barrage at Medigadda and also at Annaram and Sundilla is solely of the then Chief Minister. దయచేసి మీరు గమనించాలి, చాలా స్పష్టంగా ఘోష్ కమిషన్ రిపోర్ట్లో తుమ్మడి అట్టి దగ్గర నీటి లభ్యత లేదు కాబట్టే మేము మేడిగడ్డకి షిఫ్ట్ చేస్తూ అనే సాకు ఇదో కారణం ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ చూపెట్టారో ఇది సరి అయింది కాదు, ఇది అబద్ధం అని చెప్పి ఘోష్ కమిషన్ రిపోర్టు ఆధారాలతో ఆ రిపోర్ట్లో ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఈ విషయం అందరూ గమనించాలి. అదేవిధంగా మేడిగడ్డలో కానీ అన్నారం సుందిలలో బ్యారేజీల నిర్మాణం యొక్క నిర్ణయం మరి ఆనాటి ముఖ్యమంత్రి అని చెప్పి కూడా స్పష్టంగా జస్టిస్ ఘోష్ కమిషన్ పేర్కొనడం జరిగింది. అదేవిధంగా ఆ ప్రభుత్వమే ఒక రిటైర్డ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ కమిటీ వేసింది. అంటే మరి అప్పుడు తుమ్మడి దగ్గర ఆల్రెడీ నిర్మాణం ప్రాజెక్ట్ నడుస్తుంది, మరి మేడి దగ్గర కట్టాలా వద్దా అనే విధంగా 5 రిటైర్డ్ ఇంజనీర్స్, చీఫ్ ఇంజనీర్స్, ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ ఇన్ ఇరిగేషన్ వాళ్ళ గురించి కూడా స్వయాన ఆనాటి ముఖ్యమంత్రి కేసీఆర్ గారు శాసనసభలో అన్నాడు. ఆయన నేను 5 ఇరిగేషన్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ రిటైర్డ్ చీఫ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ వేసిన మరి ఈ మేడిగడ్డ దగ్గర ప్రాజెక్ట్ కట్టాలన్నా వద్దా అని వారేసిన కమిటీయే మరి మళ్ళీ ఇది ఘోష్ కమిషన్ రిపోర్ట్. Expert committee had extensively studied the merits and demerits of the barrage being constructed at Tummadiyatti and at Medigadda and concluded that the construction of barrage at Medigadda is not advisable. Mari alleged non-availability of water at Tummadiyatti is not the correct and genuine reason. These are words from Justice Ghosh Commission report. And Tummadiyatti దగ్గర నీళ్ళు లేవు అని.
On August 24, 2025, the Telangana cabinet chaired by CM Revanth Reddy reviewed the Justice PC Ghosh Commission report on the Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project. Irrigation Minister Uttam Kumar Reddy presented the key findings via PowerPoint presentation, which we have seen just now, exposing the irregularities in planning, construction and operation. The report held former CM KCR and ex-irrigation minister T. Harish Rao directly and indirectly responsible. They questioned even the then minister Itala Rajender. It revealed that an expert committee's critical report was suppressed. Initially estimated at 38,500 crore, the project cost escalated to 1,10,248 crore by March 2022. 38,000 to 1,10,000. We can estimate how much it is exaggerated. But why that much expensive this particular project has become, no one knows. The shift from the Tummidihatti to Medigadda rendered 6,000 crore of prior work infructuous with additional losses from tunnel lining and land acquisition. KIPCL raised 87,449 crore in loans, burdening the state budget. As of September 2024, 29,737 crore was repaid with 64,212 crore principal and 41,638 crore interest pending. Kindly note that this has become the weapon of the then Chief Minister KCR, constantly blaming the central government for not recognizing the Kaleshwaram project as a national project and